UENI is not a website builder. That matters because you probably found it by searching for one. It's a done-for-you service. You fill in a questionnaire about your business. Their team builds the site, and about 7 days later you get a launch call. You never drag a single box across a screen, and the number they lead with everywhere is $79. Get your full website built for $79, down from $599. That $79 is real. It's also not what the website costs. That's the whole reason this video exists. I don't have a UENI account, and I'm not going to pretend I do. What I did instead was pull up their live pricing page and read their actual terms and conditions. Then I went through what real customers wrote on Trustpilot, Capterra and TrustRadius, including the angry ones. That's a different job than a hands-on review. For a service like this, it's arguably the more useful one. The thing that bites people here isn't the design. It's the contract underneath it. By the end, you'll know the real first-year cost of every plan. You'll know the one clause about ownership that decides whether this is right for you. And you'll know the specific complaint that shows up again and again once the site is live. Let's start with what you actually get. Number 1. What UENI actually delivers. You answer a questionnaire. Their team designs the site and writes the starting content. You get a custom domain with an SSL certificate, a professional email address on that domain, and hosting for the whole thing. It's mobile ready and search ready from day one. Then you get a training call so you can find your way around. On their own comparison chart, they put themselves against DIY builders and agencies at the same time. Their claim is that all UENI customers launch a website against 10 to 20% of people who buy a DIY builder. That's their number, not an independent one, so treat it as marketing. But the idea underneath it is honest. Anyone who bought a builder subscription and never finished the site knows what they mean. That's the actual product, not software you operate. People who operate it for you. If it turns out to be right for you, my link is in the description and it is an affiliate link. Now let's talk about the price, because this is where most reviews stop being useful. Number 2, what it actually costs. Every plan carries the same setup fee. $79 right now, normally $599. Then there's a monthly subscription on top, and that's the part the headline doesn't mention. At the time of recording, the entry plan, website launch, is $24.99 a month, plus the one they mark as most popular is $59 a month. E-commerce is $99. Growth, which adds a marketing team, is $124.99. So let's run the first year properly. Website launch is $79 plus 12 months at $24.99. That's $378. The Plus plan, the one most people land on, is $79 plus $708, just under $790 in year 1. E-commerce comes to around $1,267. Growth is a little under $1,600. And year 2 isn't cheaper. There's no setup fee the second time. But Plus is still $708 a year, every year, for as long as the site exists. None of that is hidden. It's all printed on the pricing page. But there's a real difference between hidden and easy to miss. A $79 banner sitting above a $59 monthly plan is very easy to miss. Here's the honest way to judge it. Compare it to an agency, where a small business site routinely runs a few $1,000s up front, and $700 a year looks reasonable. Compare it to Squarespace or Wix at under $20 a month with no setup fee, and it looks expensive. Which comparison is fair depends entirely on whether you were ever actually going to build the thing yourself. So if you've already abandoned a DIY site twice, the price is defensible. If you've never tried, you're paying a premium to solve a problem you might not have. Number 3, what real customers say. The scores are good. On Trustpilot, the badge on their own site shows 4.8 out of 5 from just over 9,000 reviews as of August 2026. On Capterra, which is a software buyer site, it's 4.4 out of 5 from 187 reviews. Both of those are strong numbers, but the gap between them is worth a second look, and not in a conspiratorial way. Read through the Trustpilot reviews and a pattern jumps straight out. An enormous number of them thank a specific person by first name for onboarding. That's genuine, and it tells you something real. The setup experience is good, and the humans are responsive at the start. It also tells you what's being measured. A lot of that 4.8 is scoring the first 2 weeks of the relationship. The buyer sites, where people review software they've actually lived with, sit a little lower. Now, when you go looking for the negative reviews, they aren't scattered across everything. They cluster on one thing: revisions after the site goes live. One Capterra reviewer describes supplying brand guidance and visual direction so the team could simply implement it. Then nothing moved. Their words are that it feels like automated responses from a team that doesn't understand its own systems. No urgency and no ownership on the delivery side. They finish by saying that on paper, UENI looks great. A Trustpilot reviewer back in September 2024 had it worse. A logo delivered wrong, images sitting over a box, and more than 10 support tickets that still didn't get the corrections made. UENI replied publicly and said the logo had since been completed. Now hold that up against the pricing. Unlimited done-for-you edits forever is the flagship feature of the $59 plus plan. It's the main reason to move up from the cheap tier. So the complaint pattern lands precisely on the thing you're paying extra for. That's the finding that would make me slow down. Not the price, the edits. Number 4, and this is the one that actually decides it. Who owns the website? UENI builds on its own platform. Their own page puts it plainly. If you choose to leave in the future, you retain ownership of all the content published on the site. Read that sentence carefully. You own the content, the words, the photos, your business information. It does not say you own the website. That's a closed platform. There's no export button that hands you your site to take somewhere else. Leaving UENI doesn't mean moving your site. It means building a new one and copying your text across by hand. There's more. Their help documentation states that custom domain names are only available to customers on a recurring subscription. And a Capterra reviewer ran into exactly that, where a delayed renewal affected their domain. UENI's own public reply confirmed the reason. The domain is tied directly to the plan. To be fair, and this part matters, the domain itself isn't locked up. UENI documents how to transfer a domain away to another registrar. You start the process with them and finish it at the new one. So your web address is yours to take. It's the site that isn't. Which brings me to the sentence this whole review comes down to. You are not buying a website, you're renting a service. That's not a criticism on its own. Plenty of sensible businesses rent things they could theoretically own. But it changes what you're actually deciding, and nobody selling a $79 website says it out loud. So if you'd rent your web presence the way you rent your card machine, this is fine. If not owning it bothers you, no monthly price makes that feeling go away. Number 5, the fine print worth reading. 2 things stand out in the terms. The good one first. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee and it's clean. Their wording is 0 risk to get started. And if you're not satisfied, you email customer success for a full refund. You cancel from your own dashboard. For a service where a team does custom work for you, a no questions refund window is genuinely generous. The second one is stranger. On annual plans, their terms say they charge you for next year's renewal at the end of month 11 of your current plan. Your plan still runs the full 12 months, so you aren't losing any time you paid for. But the money leaves your account a month before you'd expect it to. That isn't a scam, and it is written down. It's just the kind of thing that surprises somebody who planned to cancel in month 12. If you go annual, put a reminder in your calendar for month 10. So the refund window is a real point in their favor. The renewal timing is a real reason to set an alarm. So who is this actually for? It's for the small local business that needs a website to simply exist. A plumber, a salon, a dentist, a landscaper, somebody who is realistically never going to build it themselves, who wants another person keeping it running, and who has no plans to move it anywhere. If your alternative is a fourth abandoned attempt at a DIY builder, or nothing at all, then paying somebody to handle it is a sensible trade. The onboarding reviews say you'll be looked after at the start. Now, who should skip it? Anyone who wants to properly own their website. Anyone who expects to grow into custom features a template service can't reach. Anyone who might want to be on WordPress or Shopify in 2 years, because that's a rebuild, not a move. And anyone genuinely willing to spend a weekend on Squarespace or Wix, where there's no setup fee and the monthly is less than half. There's also a middle case, and it's the smartest way to play this. If you want the done-for-you build but the edit complaints worry you, the 30-day guarantee is your tool. Get the site built, ask for your changes straight away, and judge them on how that goes while you can still get every penny back. So, the short version. UENI builds a real website for a real small business quickly and looks after you properly while it's being made. The honest cost is closer to $800 in year one than the $79 on the banner on a platform you rent rather than own. If that trade fits your business, the link is in the description and it's an affiliate one. Now I want to hear from you. If you've had a website built for you instead of building it yourself, did the changes afterwards go smoothly, or did you end up chasing them? Tell me in the comments.